honest with number of sessions, except for in task 1. We want you to do task 1 in one session. But task 2 is going to take a little bit longer. Task 2 typically takes between 2 to 4 sessions to complete. And we like you to stay with that structure because we know that task 4, the repair and attachment task, is really our mechanism of change. So you don't want to spend too long working individually with the adolescent. Now, when you're doing task 2, it's good to be doing task 3 at the same time. Because we don't want you meeting with the adolescent for 2 to 4 weeks and not engaging the parent at all, and then switching to working with the parent, because you might lose engagement of the parent if you're only meeting with the adolescent during that time. Additionally, if you do all of this work with the adolescent for 2 to 4 sessions, you get them all ready to talk to their parent, but then you say, oh, but you gotta wait 2 to 4 weeks while I meet with your parent, then their anxiety really builds, and they're gonna forget about what they're supposed to talk about. So it's good to be doing this at the same time. Additionally, you wouldn't want to meet with an adolescent for 2 to 4 weeks who's suicidal and then say, I'm not going to meet with you for 4 weeks while I meet with your parent, because you need to be checking in to monitor their safety. So ideally, you can do more than one session in a week. So ideally, you'd be meeting with the adolescent for an hour and the parent for an hour while you're in this alliance building phase. But we also understand that for many of you that's not possible. Insurance won't reimburse for that. And so we recommend, if that's the case, then you do every other week. So 1 week with the kid, next week with the parent, vice versa. If you're working with a suicidal kid, then you want to make sure you're checking in with that adolescent in between on the weeks you're not seeing them to assess their safety. Another way you can do it is to split a session. But if you're doing a real therapy hour, that's 50 minutes. So 25 minutes with each person. I find it's really hard to get somebody to go deep and to really get somewhere in 25 minutes. So I personally prefer the every other session if you can, or doing 2 sessions in a week. So that's kind of how we set the structure. So I'm going to talk about task 2. And then after we're done with task 2, I'll talk about task 3. So in task 2, there are 3 phases. There's a lot of research that's been done on how one builds an alliance. An alliance is much more than just getting to know somebody and idle chit-chat. It's part of it, and that's the bond part, so getting to know another person. But alliance is also built when you have shared goals and shared tasks with your client. And so that's how we structure our alliance building task with adolescents and parents. So we do get to know the adolescent a little bit. And then we want to get a goal. And we talked about this goal in task 1, but now we're going to further expand on it in task 2, and the work we're doing is to motivate the adolescent to agree with this goal. And the goal in ABFT is to really understand the adolescent's attachment narrative, the ruptures that they've had with their parents, and then amplify their entitlement to have these issues addressed. So we're going to be working with the adolescent in task 2 to do that. And then the task at hand is to prepare them for the attachment task. So the task in the alliance research is, do we agree on how we're going to achieve this goal? So for us, we're going to motivate the adolescent to want to talk to their parents in the attachment task.